Hi everyone, my name is Peter and thanks for joining me at OurWorshipSound. In this video, I want to show you some things that can help you understand songs and chord progressions in minor keys. So there are two things you need to know about playing in minor keys. And one of them is, if we take this A minor scale, the first thing to know is that this is basically just a variation of the C major scale. So as we take this A minor scale, A, B, C, D, E, F, G, A, you notice that we played all naturals, all white keys. That's the same key signature as C major. They have the same key signature, so they are relatives. Okay, and that's one way that we want to understand A minor is just the same notes of a C major scale, just a different context. Okay, so let me show you a little bit how that plays out. If I play this chord progression, A minor, F, C, G, it has a minor sound to it because it starts and ends on the A minor, but it uses all the same notes that we would find in the key of C major. And what's more, if we begin to look at what chords we're playing here, A minor, F, C, and G, and we begin to tie those back to the C major scale, we understand that A minor is built off the 6th note of the C scale, F is built off the 4th note of the C scale, C is built off the 1st note from the C scale, and G is built off the 5th note of the C scale. So we have our 6, 4, 1, and 5. And those are the same chords that we would base most of what we play in C major from. So A minor is going to use a lot of the same chords as what we would find in C major. Another way that this plays out is if we are thinking about playing more melodically, and we begin to think about different scale notes and how we can just kind of improvise melodies within our playing. We might start with something like the 1st note of the C scale, the 7th note of the C scale, and the 5th note of the C scale. And a lot of times we can make some really interesting melodies just off those 3 notes. So that would be more of a C major context, but let's apply this to this A minor chord progression. We find that the relative major scale notes fit really well into the minor context as well. So we can understand a lot of important things about playing in minor keys by understanding the relative major of that minor key. But that's not the full picture of playing in minor keys. And the reason why is because when we play this C major scale, it has what we call a leading tone. The 7th note leads into the top note. It's a half step away, and it creates this expectation that we're not going to stop there on that note. We have this pull or this leading into the top note, okay? And it just creates this sense that we want to hear it resolve to that top note. When we play the minor scale, it doesn't have that half step leading tone, and so there's not as much of a pull to it. So a lot of times what you'll find in minor keys is we'll take this 7th note and we will raise it half a step to create that same expectation within a minor context. Okay, so what we do is we take the 7th note and raise it. And so in this sense, it's not enough to just understand and process minor chords and minor chord progressions in terms of their relative major. We have to understand them also in terms of their absolute placement as 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, those notes on their own. Okay, so let me show you how this might play out in a minor context. So we have A minor, F, C, and then to create that leading tone, we can change that to a G sharp, okay? And then, so what we'll end up is usually we'll have the 5th note of the scale to create a dominant chord that leads back into the A minor chord. Okay, so a lot of times we'll replace that 5 chord from the relative major with the 5 chord of the minor. So we want to be able to think in minor keys as both connected to the relative major, but also to be able to do their own thing. Okay, so like I said, we can create this dominant chord. A lot of times we'll also see a chord built off that 7th note as a diminished chord. We haven't talked a lot about diminished chords, but that's one way that it can fit in. So I hope that helps you build some connections between just how you can play in minor contexts. If you want to learn more about playing minor stuff, you can go to Fluent Piano Chords. There's some sessions that will connect you directly to this same sort of understanding. Within Fluent Piano Melodic, we stick pretty much with the relative major, but as I showed you, those same notes and beginning to understand those notes that way will fit right back into minor context. So hope you'll check those out, Fluent Piano Chords and Fluent Piano Melodic. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you soon.